Time really flies by. At least it does here. It seems as though that I never catch up. I'm always busy. Well, I guess this is good because it keeps me uh, mind employed and nothing gets boring. It's just something new every day, and I really enjoy it. Looking forward to the time when you're coming home, which is real short, I know. And we're sure going to be proud to see you again. And wish you lots of luck and good luck in traveling in the meantime, because you've got many miles to make, and we'll sure be wishing and hoping for your safety. It appears by your last letter, Ronald, that you will be home possibly 10th or 12th of October. And this is real fine. We'll set up our yearly board of directors meeting around the 15th of October, making it flexible whichever day that it might be best suitable for you when you are here. And we will have a regular yearly board of directors meeting and make our plans for the coming year. And it'll be real great to have you on board for that. Yes, we are expanding WPSI in some ways. We hope to build another building down there real soon, and if things work just right, we'll take and move Anodi Rubber Company to Bowling. And then if Mother and I are lucky to get this acreage down there and build us a new home, we'll have everything in Bowling and won't have to be in Houston at all, and which will be just fine with me. The traffic eats me up. Every time I'm in town, I wish I was back in the country. So I guess I'm a farmer boy at heart. So far as we know, Steve and Sanford are doing all right in Salt Lake. We haven't had much communication with him other than a couple collect phone calls, getting his furniture and dog and stuff straight. Mrs. Jones left Sunday morning and took Briar with her on the plane, and so I'm sure that they've arrived safely, and Briar and Steve and Sanford are all back together again. We paid for the freight on the dog, or will pay the Joneses for whatever it costs to ship the dog, just to help out in the situation. So we hope we'll hear from Steve a little oftener now than what we did when he was in school. However, he's a pretty busy boy and probably won't have time to write, so he'll probably call us collect one of these days before long and tell us all about what's going on. I did get a postcard right after he arrived up there and said it was really pretty up there, and he's having a hard time finding a home, but they did find one. They found a duplex apartment, and I guess possibly it'll be better than a home that they'd have to maintain everything on. There'd probably be quite a bit of maintenance go with the duplex, so this will probably be better for them. At least I hope so. We have received about all the packages that you told about in your letter, I think. We got the rocket ladders, or the Titan II missile type ladders, and they were in good shape. And then we got 2 or 3 other boxes, and I'll let Mother tell you in detail is what we did receive. So it looks like things are coming through as they should. So let Mother give you Stephen Sanford's address whenever she gets on the tape, but I know she will, and she'll get it correct anyhow. Sure was too bad about your billfold. I just think about it quite often, and I figure, just like you do, that you'll never hear any more from it. So it's just a gone cookie, and you just have to get by without it. I'm just real sorry it happened. At least it probably won't happen again, because you'll secure it better next time. I'm sure this Condition 1 alert you had for all the period of the election time over there was quite disturbing and quite wearisome on the mind, because in that condition you didn't know what minute, and that when there's something like that going on, it kind of makes one get older. I was quite surprised to find that you went to get your hair cut at the I guess you'd call it the kook shop or gook shop. I didn't figure that you would trust them to cut your hair. They might cut your ear off at the same time. I believe I'd go to the company base barber if you have one next time. Of course, you know what you're doing. It just seemed like it's kind of a dangerous thing to do, but you know best. When you get shore patrol, is it always at the club, or do you have other activities or other duties at other places? It would seem like that would be kind of a boresome thing to be messing around that club all the time. But just curious. We did tell Utsi hello for you, but she didn't understand what we were talking about, so she'll wait till you get here and you tell her hello again. She's quite a mess, as I've said many times before. Hopefully there will be some red snapper left when you get here. We didn't eat them all, I'm sure, and so when you do arrive, we'll cook some of them red snapper that we enjoyed so much with Stephen Sanford and enjoy them with you. Mother fixed a real lovely dinner the other night for the Georges and had them over. They're going away party, I guess you might call it. They're going to Denver real soon, and we enjoyed them very much. Played 42 and had a good evening. And then out of the clear blue, we had a visit from Harold Dawson in Fort Worth, who is a cousin of mine that came here about 15 years ago to a bowling tournament when we lived on Dunlop Street. You may have remembered him being here, he and another boy. And we were quite surprised. He's married again, and his second wife, has 2 sons, I believe is correct. And they brought one of them along. He seemed like a real fine boy and could play the piano, and it quite reminded us quite a bit of your talent as he played. He did a real good job. So when you come, you can play some more for us, and we'll enjoy it, every bit of it. I arranged to get you some football tickets for the Aggies game that they'll be, whatever game it is they're playing in Fort Worth during the time you're here. If there are tickets available, we'll sure get them. We'll check on it real soon and see what we can do. The pictures or the slides that you sent of the chapel are just real nice. We've looked at them and enjoyed them so much, and I hope that they will someday build a chapel just like what you designed. It'd be real great to know that you had a part in it, and I wouldn't doubt what they'll do it. Real proud that Virginia did write to you, and you got a letter from her. I mean, we needed her enough times. It was about time that she did it, and I'm just glad she did. And you write her when you feel like it or get time, and I'm sure she'll enjoy it. We haven't heard from her in the last few days, so I assume they're all right, except, oh yeah, I take it back, we had 2. Cookie, her, I don't know what relative it is, anyhow, Cookie's husband got killed. It's her niece, I believe, and they've gone to Arkansas to the funeral. Floyd and Wendell and I guess Becky's husband are staying here in Houston to look after things, but the women folks all went to the funeral. So you may have remember meeting Cookie at the New Year's party that we had at Wendell's a few years ago. I think she's the one that was there and left and went to meet her husband coming in on the plane late and kind of put things in a kind of a ditty or, kind of a frizzy at the last minute. Well, anyhow, you remember who it is, I believe. We got a nice letter from Grandma Reel a day or 2 ago and indicated they were all both feeling pretty good and possibly might come down a little later, so we're going to let them know just when you'll be here, and maybe they'll come when you are here on furlough, which would be real nice. They'd come and stay a day or 2. I'm sure you'd like to see them, and I know they'd like to see you. So it's just a thought. We'll see how it works out. Ron, we did receive the tape, the record that you sent from Tokyo, and it was real pretty. We played it both sides, enjoyed every minute of it, and we'll probably play it another time or 2 before you arrive. But we'll try not to wear it out so that you can enjoy it when you get here, but it's real nice. Speaking of records, I guess I'll go in and turn one on and finish up my side of the tape with something more pleasant than all my yakking, so here goes.
I just played Daddy's half the tape, and it seems like that he has had a first shot at the news this time, which I'm real glad. Usually I start the tape off, and he says I tell all the news. So I'll sort of fill in on things that he forgot about, or also some things that he skipped over. He has left to go to the office here in Houston, and then he's going on to bowling. Virginia or I should say Judy's husband called last night about 9 o'clock. He had called here previously, a couple weeks ago, wanting a job, but he didn't particularly want to move to bowling. So I guess he's been unable to get a job and finally decided he better fall back on us again. So he's going to go with Daddy to bowling to see what kind of work that's being done down there, and Daddy can get to talk to him, see whether he even wants to consider him or not. We haven't been around him any. We don't know what kind of a boy he is or what he can do. So we'll see what comes out of that. And it is needless to say that we sure will be anxious to hear your voice from this end of your trip when you arrive back in California. It'll be good to know that you just have your feet on the good old terra firma of the United States. And I know you feel the same way. And maybe these last 2 or 3 weeks that you have without any goodies dropping in on you, or maybe you can go on your diet. I hope you had better luck than I'm having. I don't seem to be doing any good. But I guess one has to look after their aches and pains before their looks. Anyway, that seems to be my trouble. I didn't get Dad's cold. I felt rough there for a few days, but I kept doping up with Bufferin and vitamin C and sugared off, which I was real glad for. We did get the film that you were worried about. I thought I had already told you. The one that you'd mentioned that had them bailing the water out by hand for the irrigation. I know the day that we got that box, I went to open it up and there's no tape on it, and I thought, well, now someone has been in here. And that was what I thought, and it came through okay, and we did enjoy the tape. The film. The duplicate slides that you asked about having postage on them. Well, I took them to the post office, and they put the postage on it, and I paid for it. So I guess they realized that and didn't charge you for it, which I'm glad, because I did, as I said, take it to the post office so it'd get the right amount of postage. I had no idea what it would be. And Sandy isn't president of the garden club. Isn't treasurer. She's the president. I'm still the treasurer this coming year. And she was trying to get together on the budget, and I was helping her with the budget, and that's why she came over here. School started the 5th in Spring Branch and in the Houston districts. So I'm sure Becky's back at it again and having to look after all of her children. And I presume it's a relief from the summer work that she had, because she expressed the fact that she didn't like that too well either. I was glad to know that the nights are getting cooler over there. A little relief from the terrible heat you've been having, and I know that was greatly appreciated. Daddy mentioned about receiving the boxes. Well, I told you that in the letter, but I'll go over again the fact that we have received 4 boxes. The one that contained your sports slacks and your Navy uniform and scrapbook. And we didn't look at the scrapbook. When he opened the box, we just put it away and we're going to look at it when you get here. And then he received the box with the lighter, and there was no custom due on them. And then we received 2 boxes of, we didn't open them. One said used tape, and the other was some souvenirs and so forth. We received the box of slides also, and it was quite a contrast from your hot weather slides and Archie's frigid north area. It was the opposite end of the world, I would say. And the slides of the your model of the chapel was really wonderful. And I like Daddy, think that it would be a great idea for them to build one like it. I'm glad, however, that they have decided to rebuild or to make at least some kind of a chapel, even though it is the kind they made. I wish they had went ahead and made yours. Your design, we could tell, or anyone could tell, there was a lot of thought and work put into it. And maybe it'll be put across sometime. And your calendar that you made, that was quite a unique way to fix it. We saw it in one of the slides hanging up on the wall. And I know that you're real glad to see that black strip cover up most of the days. Mrs. Norris has been on a trip. She left the 2nd of September by a bus, a special charter bus, to go up through the eastern states and on up into Canada to Expo 67. I believe she's to be back 29th. I believe it was a 3-week trip. Anyway, that's the way I remember it. I was also wondering if you'd seen Larry Milberger anymore. And also if you had had any communications with Jerry Brown. We haven't seen him since that one time. Well, we didn't see him then. He talked to us over the phone. We didn't even see him when he came home for Rhonda's wedding. I always get them mixed up, and I know better. And we haven't heard from him since, and I don't know whether he comes to Houston very often or not. I hardly think so. Sunday, Daddy did forget to tell you this, so the reason why we didn't make our tape Sunday, we had planned, the Herlocks, Mizels, and us, were to go up to the Gormans. The people used to live here in Afton Village. Their son is a Navy flyer. He's gone to the Naval Academy, and I presume would be his life's career. Anyway, they lived, they bought a farm and built a new home up by Brenham. I've told you about it before. And it was Mrs. Gorman's and Betty Herlock's birthdays. It was a week late, but we were going to celebrate the birthday. Well, Sunday morning, Betty called and said that Haynes had been having trouble with his throat, and that morning it was just so bad that he couldn't even talk, and she was trying to get a hold of the doctor, and they would be unable to go. So the Mizels and we went on up there and got there about 10:30 for 11, and had a real nice dinner, and he hitched up his tractor onto a rubber-tired wagon, and we all got in the wagon and sat on chairs, and he took us around all over the farm. It was quite hilly-daily country up there, you know, and up and down one hill and across a ravine, and it was rough riding, but it was enjoyable to see all the trees and the birds. There's the postman on just a minute. Well, it was the postman. He beat me, but I'll get this tape finished and on down to the post office, as I have to do some errands this morning. We received a package that said 7 books today from NKK. I mean, the envelope had NKK emblem, so I'm sure you know what that is. I read your letter. It also came here just now, and the good news is out. The mirror is hung. Daddy hung it about, I guess a week ago, and it looks real nice. We put it up the second time, and we still didn't just quite get it straight. But maybe no one will notice it. If they do, I will just tell them that I guess we were sort of cockeyed the day we hung it. But it's up, and I'm glad that it is. It's better than having it sitting in the corner somewhere. And I did get Leroy to pick up the walnut chair and put on the needlepoint. I'm not too pleased with his job. He I worked so hard making the needlepoint, and the way he did it, it looks like it amounts to nothing. I told him I was unhappy with it, and I might just make him do it over. And I may do that yet. Going back to our trip Sunday, we, after our trip around the ranch, we played 42 and got home about 8 o'clock. Well, I see I'm about out of tape, so I guess I will ring off and reread your letter and enjoy it again. And you take it easy, and we'll be hearing from you